Hey guys, it's Warhog. Welcome back to another squad video. Today we're going to be talking about how to become a better driver for your armor crew. Use the terrain. In this fight, John B. my gunner spots two enemy tanks and we are by ourselves. His communication and my use of the terrain help us even the odds.
See something west? Oh, both tanks! Oh my god, both tanks.
I see. There's sign on.
Oh, fuck.
One's tracked. Yeah.
Did they join you?
John B begins to engage the first enemy tank, and we take damage to our turret to the point of where it's cracked and pretty low from what I remember when I was watching the health change when we were sitting here. But once he finishes the first tank, I see where he points his gun barrel from my perspective. Obviously you guys are seeing the gunner's perspective, and I determined it is no longer relevant to move from our spot and we should just take the fight. We start to bounce shots and that confirms my suspicions. We are fully hull down using the terrain and we end up winning this engagement against two enemy tanks.
Healthy as we can be.
One shot, one more. Both dead.
Just hats off to my gunner and commander. Of course, John B, those are well-placed shots. The link for his channel will be below. Go give him some support. He's a great squad content creator. And Jalapeno Juan, who is now just JJ, I think, in terms of his squad name. And you'll see him pop around on servers like CD and I think Potato. So he's also pretty cool. And yeah, that was a textbook use of terrain. Moving on to the next example for using terrain on Al-Basra. In this fight, enemy T-62 on Al-Basra invasion gets the first shot. I let my gunner return fire once our commander spots where the enemy tank is. I pull us forward, we get hit again in the turret, bringing it down to pretty much no health. I keep us in the ditch since they also hit our engine. We repair a little bit. I hop back in. I tell Houndy, our command seat, who hopped out with me, to stay out and repair during the fight. Two Tones, the gunner, gets eyes on the T-62 as it decides to get aggressive, thinking we were just going to stay there. And we end up finishing it off and winning the fight. It's important to remember when deciding to switch positions in a fight is being conscious of when your gunner shoots. So if your gunner has not shot yet, you could say, I'm going to let you shoot first and then we're going to move. Or tell them to hold their shot while you are going to move them, because it is always a detriment if you move without communicating, and that is a wasted sabo and a wasted opportunity to potentially just get damage done to the enemy tank or track them or engine them. So the main point, make sure you're communicating while making movement decisions as the driver. In this fight, we are playing with the Brownington as the gunner and Two Tones as the commander. Two Tones calls out tank behind us. We're in an M1A1 for the Aussie faction going against the T-72. I let Brownington take his first shot, just with us on the road, pretty big target. I then reverse and hit the enemy tank, bounces a shot off of our lower plate. This then tells me, alright, we're a big target on this road, we're skylining, how can I reduce the chance of them killing us? I pull us right behind some dirt and sandbags, making us into a smaller target. Sometimes this is all you need to survive a fight. Yes, they do pen, but it took them a little bit of extra time just to aim that shot, because now the gunner has to think about, is this shot going to pen or is it going to bounce? Sometimes all you need to do as a driver is to make your crew and the tank itself a harder target to hit. Useful movement. Now, what do I mean by useful movement? In tanks, and I guess in anything in this game, you have to be very deliberate about what you do. There's not many options for willy-nilly movement choices. So when you are in a tank, you don't always have to be moving. You can be stationary in one spot for a good amount of time, and as long as you're checking for UAVs, enemy helis, scouting, and enemy infantry, of course, still keeping eyes out for enemy armor if it's still up. If no one spotted you and no one's bothered you, there's no reason to move. So in this fight, we roll down a road and tank is marked north, and I suspect that the tank is moving towards us, so I decide to just stop and face armor in that direction. Houndy the gunner engages first tank. We only take track damage since this tank was trying to most likely go off of sound. The T-72 is loud, so this tank felt, I guess, comfortable and pushed up. And we were just engine off. So sometimes the best thing to do is just stay still and let the enemy make a mistake while you take advantage of that mistake once it is made. Now, this was more of, I think, a miscommunication thing on the enemy team's side. We kill one tank, and this tank that shot us knows exactly where we are and could probably mark us since we're tracked. Second enemy tank comes up and either was not told and we were not marked, or they were also made the same mistake of thinking, hey, they're probably going to be running, so we'll hear their engine. Again, engine off, and we engage second tank. In this fight, if we ran away, most likely these Abrams, especially with their speed, would have caught up to us and we would have died. Just to top it all off, and I guess give a summary, sometimes it is best to just stay still and stay in the spot that you're in. For my final tip, it's going to be called stand and fight. Now, this is a very situational thing, but usually as the red 4 factions, you cannot outrun the blue 4 factions. So if you are in a fight, and let's say you are weak, which, and this will be a textbook example, and a tank is chasing you, an Abrams, or a Charlie, or a Leo, they will catch you. Unless you are going downhill, and even then, they will also be going downhill, so they'll just catch you anyway. Sometimes it is better to fall back to a more advantageous position rather than full-on run away and give them your back. First, let's give context to this situation. In this situation, we engage an enemy Bradley and win the fight, but we were hit by an enemy by his toe. So we went down to burning, we repped back up, now we are one shot to a lat. That's how weak we are. So if a tank rolls up on us, it's gonna one-shot us. Me and Houndy make a break for it. Houndy's gunning. Houndy calls out that, hey, you know what, let's just hide behind this building since Squad 5 tank is coming to help us. Now this friendly tank is gonna go head on with the Abrams, giving us a distraction to work off of. We pull out from behind the building, pull up on the Abrams right side, and hit it with a toe, finishing it off. This would be a textbook example on staying, fighting, and it pays off. Hope you guys find this video helpful, and if you do, please leave a like. Maybe consider subscribing if you haven't. Leave a comment letting me know any other tips you guys may have. Again, I learn a lot from the comment section, especially on those videos that get a lot of views and a lot of comments. So I always love to interact with you guys, and have a great day.